Self-driving vehicles are gaining traction, perhaps. A new note from William Blair makes the case that Tesla's robotaxi could eventually pull ahead of the competition. It's got a more luxurious service at half the cost. Joining us now to discuss his note, William Blair analyst Jed Dorsheimer. Jed, you say that you may have experienced a glimpse of the future in referencing your riding in Austin in some robotaxis, and that the comparisons are immediate and stark. What do you mean?
Well, by the way, I think Secretary Ludnick's response to you on Intel feels a lot like our note this morning. We've definitely hit a nerve here in terms of just sharing our experience. But we were down in Austin last week trialing the robotaxi, which is a beta version, comes public in September. And we also trialed Waymo through Uber. And our experience was surprising. I mean, the Tesla drove much more autonomously, felt a lot more like a person was driving that. It was a very comfortable. There were no security, safety issues that we had in any of our rides, and it surprised me to the upside. I was pleasantly surprised by this experience.
Yeah. Well, what were you expecting? I mean, I assume you've ridden in Waymos and the like. So, I'm just curious what your expectations were. And then talk about pricing for me, because I know that also is something you've noted.
I was expecting something that was more like Waymo. And for us, I've taken many Waymo rides. It still feels somewhat robotic, when you are entering a intersection or taking a left, that you can almost, it feels as if the computer is thinking, as it's sensing things out, which it is doing. Whereas the Tesla, which the stark difference is Waymo uses LiDAR and uses laser in addition to cameras and vision, where Tesla is a vision only and using its neural net much more like a person. And that it just felt more normal. Now, we've always said, the risk for Tesla is, can they use their expansive network and the training that they're doing in their system to then get to a safety that is similar to that of what Waymo is doing? And if they can, then the tech stack, the cost is much lower. And so we calculate it's about 1/10 that of Waymo. And so can they use the lower cost to weaponize pricing as a way to take market share? Because they are, the David in this market. They are the newcomer into the market, and so they need to be the disruptor. And their pricing was half that of Uber, just in the small sample set of experiences that we had last week.
You said at the outset that your report hit a nerve. I'm just curious, what kind of feedback have you gotten to say that?
I feel like I came up with, 6-minute abs and something about Mary, that people have been led to believe that, that it has to be, fall into this camp where you have to have LiDAR or, and vision's not going to work, or you kind of fit into that, vision model. And the two don't seem to talk to each other. It's two different languages. And so the response has been somewhat visceral this morning. I mean, it should be worth noting that, we recently downgraded Tesla shares because of our concern with the regulatory tax credits and the margin structure, which is lower. So while this is positive, we've also got confirmation that the regulatory tax credits are market has ostensibly gone to zero. And so that's going to be a margin hit. So it is a balanced approach. But, on the point on, vision versus LiDAR, it seems to be a hot button for investors.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's something like they discussed with Elon himself as well. And obviously, he makes the point that it's better. Jed, we're going to leave it there for today. I always appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.